Ever wonder what happens right after a creator goes viral? There's a massive business opportunity hiding in that moment. And today, we're going to break down how you can build a profitable app to grab it. And the best part? We're doing it with conversational AI. No coding, no developers, just your idea. So picture this. A creator's video just explodes online. All of a sudden, they have this huge audience, and everyone wants more. It's the dream, right? But it also creates a huge immediate problem. How do you turn all that attention into a real business professionally? And you know what usually happens? In that rush to make some money, a lot of creators just fall back on what's easy. They start selling courses and content through WhatsApp. I mean, it's clunky, it doesn't look professional, and it's impossible to scale. And right there, that's our gap in the market. Now imagine stepping right into that gap. You walk in and offer them a slick, custom-branded app to sell their courses. You help turn their viral moment into a sustainable business. And hey, you build a pretty profitable one for yourself in the process.
So how on earth is this possible without a team of developers and a huge budget? Well, the answer is this new wave of no-code AI tools that are changing everything. Let me introduce you to the two key players that make this whole thing work.
First up, you've got your builder, Lovable AI. The best way to think about this is like having your own personal developer who just happens to speak plain English. You don't write a single line of code. You just write prompts. You describe the features you want, how you want it to look, and the AI literally builds the app's structure and interface for you.
Okay, so an app needs more than just a pretty face, right? It needs a brain. And that's exactly where Supabase comes in. This is the powerhouse in the background doing all the heavy lifting. It handles user logins, stores all the course data, and most importantly, it integrates the payment gateways. This is what makes your app a real, functional, and secure business tool.
And look, when you put them side by side, the difference is just staggering. The old way, you're hiring expensive developers, you're waiting for months, maybe longer. The new way, you're just talking to an AI, and you can have a working app in a matter of hours for a tiny fraction of the cost. This isn't just a small step up. It's a complete revolution in who gets to create things.
So, how do you actually use these tools? The whole process isn't about code at all. It's about clear communication. You are quite literally going to talk your app into existence. It really just boils down to these three simple steps. First, you write a really detailed description of the app you're imagining. The more detail, the better. Second, the AI takes that prompt and poof, it generates the first version of your app. And third, and this is the truly magical part, you fix it and make it better just by telling the AI what's wrong.
And when we say prompt, we're not talking about some weird technical jargon. We're talking about plain English. A clear set of instructions just like this. You explain what the app is for. You ask for key features like a payment gateway and an admin panel. It's simple, it's direct, and it's incredibly powerful.
Okay, but here's the big question, right? We've all been there. What happens when it breaks? A button doesn't work. A page won't load. In the old world, this is where things get really complicated and expensive.
But get this, with this new workflow, the solution is just as conversational as the creation. You don't need to read a single error log. You just describe the problem exactly like a user would. You tell the AI what's broken, and it goes in, analyzes the code, finds the mistake, and fixes it for you. It's insane. It's like having a super developer on call 24/7.
So we know it's possible, we know it works, but is it actually profitable? Let's switch gears and talk about the business model. Let's break down the actual numbers.
Your total monthly overhead to run a service for 2 clients, is only around 5,000 rupees, and that covers everything, the AI builder, the database, the domains. Think about that. You can start a real business with an incredibly low barrier to entry. And what about the revenue? What can you actually make? Well, you could easily charge a single client around 10,000 rupees per month for their custom app and maintenance. So, with just one client, you've already doubled your investment. With 2, you're looking at a fantastic profit margin.
And here's that breakdown, just so you can see it's all real. You've got about 2,000 for Lovable AI to build the apps, another 2,000 for Supabase to run the backend, and maybe 1,000 for the custom domains. That's it. It's a super transparent and totally manageable cost structure.
So when you approach these creators, this is your value proposition. You're not trying to take a 10 or 15% cut of all their sales. You're offering them a professional app for a simple, fixed monthly fee. You deliver it fast, you maintain it, and you integrate secure payments. It's a much, much better deal for them and a great business for you.
You know, this whole thing is bigger than just one type of app.
What we're really witnessing here is the democratization of software itself. It's a fundamental shift in who actually gets to create things in our world.
For decades, the power to create software was locked behind this huge wall of complex programming languages. Well, that wall is crumbling down. The most important skill is shifting. It's no longer about your ability to write code. It's about your ability to clearly articulate an idea. Your vision is now the bottleneck, not your technical skill.
And that brings us to the final, most important question, and this one's for you. Now that you know this is actually possible, what would you build? If the only thing standing between your idea and a working application is just a clear description, what urgent problem would you solve? What passion project would you finally bring to life? The tools are here. The real question is, what will you create?